What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back into JC CFB, where you can see all kinds of CFB 25 and yes, now CFB 26 content. That's right. We've been having news updates coming for a little bit now. We knew it was going to be reveal week. We talked about it in the video we put out a couple of days ago. Finally, we make it today. We get the reveal trailer. Of course, told you guys on social media it was going to, of course, come while I was stuck at work. So my breakdown will be coming later in the night, with me doing this later at night. And because of that, I'm not going to, play the trailer full again. I'm sure everyone's already seen it. So I'm going to just kind of play it frame by frame and break it down. But then I really want to dive into the blog post, which I haven't even had a chance to fully read yet. I've seen some of the tweets talking about some of the features, but I really want to read through it and give kind of my thoughts on each little piece there, like I will, throughout in the lead up here for college football 26, much like I did for 25. All these deep dive blogs, be getting all up in them, around them, inside of them. Going through them each, piece by piece and kind of talking about all the new features for the game. And I was surprised with today's blog release. We did get a little bit of detail on some of the features. Can't wait to see it expounded upon in the future deep dives where we learn more about all these things. But I'm excited, man. I really am. I'm sure you guys are too. Cannot wait to talk about college football 26 a lot more moving forward. Now that we've started this up, it's pretty much probably going to be close to every week leading up to, July 7th, that July 7th week for the early release, July 10th for the main release. I think every week they'll be putting something out probably because if you noticed, last year they did it a couple weeks earlier, and then there was couple of time frames there where we were waiting a week or two in between with no news. I think that's why they pushed the trailer and the first welcome blog back a little bit this year, was so that they could kind of hit us with something almost every week leading up to release. I'm hoping that's what their plan is anyway. We'll find out soon enough, but we did get some good news today, and I'm ready to talk about it. So let's start off with the trailer. We're going to break it down piece by piece. If you guys are in here, throw any questions, comments you got there about college football 26 in the comments there. If you're not in with me live, this is my first live stream since probably I think I've done, besides the gaming content, last year we did these for the deep dive, so it's been a while. But happy to be back and chatting with you guys again. So if you don't get a chance to chat live, throw your thoughts in the comments. They always appreciate that. Hit the thumbs up button. Help us out with that crazy YouTube algorithm. Help more college football fans find this college football gaming channel. And be sure to subscribe here so you can stay up to date on all the college football 26 news and know all about the game in the lead up to its release here over the next couple of months. Hey, what's going on, Trey Edwards? Channel member there of my other channel, Country Roads Webcast, where I cover WVU football. Good to see you in here, Trey. With no further ado, let's get into it. Let's pull up the trailer. Let's break it down piece by piece. Then we're going to get all up in this deep dive blog here, the welcome blog. All right, so the opening shot, Alabama, Bryant-Denny Stadium there. And what I love about this is the first few shots here of the trailers is, kind of similar to last year, showcasing the team entrances, but you can see they made some major upgrades with the team entrances throughout here, including, a shot we're going to talk about momentarily. But here even you see with the night game, look at all the fans with their cell phones out, and what they did with the lighting is super, super special because everybody was wanting that dynamic lighting put in that most, teams have at their stadiums now, where, lights go off when you score a touchdown, all that good stuff. And man, did they deliver that plus more. Some stuff I wasn't expecting. We'll talk about it here momentarily. Let's continue. And here we are. Right off the bat, I was hit with something I wasn't expecting to see. I'm sure, you guys have y'all seen people talk about the drone shows now. Maybe your school did one last year. I know WVU did one. It was pretty sweet to see at the stadium. And it's so crazy, man. Just like that, they just started happening like last season. There may have been one or two the year before, but last season was the first year they were really prevalent. And then bam, they're in college football 26. And, that's not something I was, putting on my wish list or expecting to see. So a pleasant surprise. It's a really cool little addition to the game. And sometimes it's those small little details that really just make it that much better. So you get the Cal drone show there, then you get the Nebraska. And then here we talked about, upgrading and changing the entrances a little bit, right? Here's something that wasn't on last year's game, showing the teams running off the bus. Here's Clemson running off the bus there, part of the entrance. Then we get a shot of Auburn's entrance. And I think that you'll notice most of these shots that they're showing are all from night games. And I think that's twofold, because they heard people, complain about the lighting in both daytime and nighttime games. And also it gives you a comparison, like, look how much different this looks than the nighttime games you're playing right now on college football 25 But the fact that they wanted to showcase their dynamic lighting is probably the main reason, and of course the drone shows and such. But I think it's a nice touch. It gives it a nice feel here with all these night games, which you gotta love night games, right? We get Texas coming out here, a little bit of their entrance. See Boston College's band on the field there for theirs. And then here we go. You see that right there? Let's see if I can go back and catch that. There it is. Now, what do we got here? We got a high school stadium. So this is probably from Road to Glory. Could be, a team builder thing. But I'm wondering, though, it's interesting because the logo in midfield is new. That wasn't something that was in the previous games. I mean, you got to create your high school and create the jerseys and the name, but it was just kind of generic field, similar to how it is now with no logo in the middle. Maybe they put your logo. You get to pick a custom logo now for your Road to Glory team, your high school team. That's pretty cool. Nice little touch there. But hey, what a sight there to see the high school back in Road to Glory track around the field. You guys know me. I was a take it or leave it guy last year. I wasn't really complaining too much. They didn't have high school in Road to Glory, but I will say I didn't find Road to Glory that great last year on 25. I definitely didn't hardly play it that much, not very often. And I think maybe adding high school back could get me back into it. So maybe I do like high school and Road to Glory more than I previously thought. Get a shot of the crowd here. And here you are running out. This is a shot of even they have little entrances for the Road to Glory high school teams, it looks like, which is pretty sweet there. You see the cheerleaders and band there, and you're kind of running through them in tunnel fashion. And I guess Bags would be the Road to Glory player here that they have for the trailer on the run out there. And then what I love here, and this was leaked in a screenshot kind of the day prior to the trailer, is the hat ceremony. And there were some really cool details announced. We'll talk more about it when we get to the blog. But you're going to be able to not only, commit and decommit to schools in Road to Glory, but it looks like on signing day, you'll be able to make your final selection and have a little showcase there. Maybe it's a cut scene. I don't know how they're going to do that, but definitely it's involved some way where they have the hats here for the selection for your Road to Glory player. Then we get LSU's entrance there. North Carolina. And there you see some of the light shows that we're talking about, that dynamic lighting. See the spotlights there on North Carolina's field. But what I really am excited about is they have it in after touchdowns as well, which we'll see momentarily. The Rose Bowl there. Michigan State coming out of the tunnel. The lighting even looks better there, though, to be honest with you. And, of course, what you like here, I think this is Wisconsin jump around here that they're showcasing, but the highlight maybe being Metallica getting Enter Sandman into the game, getting the license for that, and it's playing throughout this trailer, which is pretty sweet. And then, I'm a WVU fan, so I'm not the biggest fan of VT, but that is a sweet entrance and needs to be in the game, and having it in the game, you get straight chills when that pops up. Obviously, I'm not playing the audio or anything because you guys have already seen the trailer, and to avoid copyright issues. Nice run out there for Texas Tech with the horse. Again, Notre Dame. There's a shot of James Franklin. See if we go back here and see what we think about the shot of James Franklin there. I know some people have said, the coaches aren't exactly 100% accurate. And yeah, it's not, but it's pretty dang close for not having a face scan or anything, for just going off pictures and stuff. It's not too shabby. It's not like it's that far off. You see James Franklin, Ryan Day there. And then you see the Texas light show there for the Longhorns. We get the Gators. And see, we're still highlighting the entrances. We're almost 40 seconds in here. So it's almost, divided evenly between the entrances and then the gameplay footage, a little bit of the gameplay cutscenes as well, which I think we get shots of some new animations there. There we see Kansas coming out on the field. We get our title drop there with the EA College Football 26, and this is when we get our first shot of Virginia Tech coming out of their tunnel. And this is when you start to hear Enter Sandman come in nicely there in the trailer, which is so sweet that they finally got that in there. And then with East Carolina's run out, there's South Florida with their run out, the Boomer Schooner, Oklahoma State. There's the Tennessee, which we saw the nice shot of Neyland Stadium. That's when you first said, man, okay, these night games look good. This lighting looks good. Another screenshot that leaked prior to the day that this trailer came out. And, of course, had to use that one in the thumbnail because it looked so good. Get a shot of the VT Hokie there, South Carolina. And then here we get into some gameplay stuff. We get a shot of Underwood here from Michigan, the true freshman quarterback who's on the deluxe edition cover. And you see him scrambling away from Ohio State guy, throwing down the field. And then we see, here's what I like right here, is multiple times in this trailer, They've made it a point in a screenshot that was released earlier of the Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love reaching for the pylon. And then here you get multiple shots of people reaching for the pylon. One of them is the only negative shot of the trailer that I have to talk about. And we'll get to that momentarily. But there you see DJ Lagway, and here's where I'm talking about. This is what got me most excited about the lighting, is right here after the touchdown. You know, a lot of teams do this. The lights will go off, and they'll have, you know, flashing lights, maybe the team colors, maybe just spotlights going around, what have you. But they have that in the game now. So after touchdowns, not only we're going to get celebrations, we're going to get the touchdown light shows. Check this out. You see it a little bit here with the Florida celebration. You see the lights flash there. That's pretty sweet. We get Jeremiah Love with a nice stiff arm truck stick there. Get a nice hit stick there. And here we are showcasing some more of the turnover celebrations. Here we see Rice with the cane, Georgia with the shoulder pads, see Arizona there, and then we get Arch Manning. And what they're highlighting here, I think, is you see the orbit motion there, because one thing that we'll talk about when we get to the blog, which is probably my favorite news of the day, they had me sold already when they had over 2,700 new plays to the game. That's right, over 2,700 new plays. And I saw Scott O'Gallagher, Scott OG, who helps develop the gameplay and the playbook and all that, say that there's over 70 plays with new orbit motions. So I think that's why you see orbit motion highlighted in the trailer there. And, of course, they wanted to highlight that Arch is in from the get-go this year, from the jump. They wanted to highlight that as well. And we see Arch make a pass there on a screen. See Penn State and Iowa. And here's my only negative shot of the trailer. Okay, this is my only negative shot of the trailer. Is, man, I'm happy that West Virginia makes the trailer, but man, y'all got us in the backyard brawl. Eli Holstein stretching out for a touchdown on us. Really? Which I guess we can slow down here frame by frame, see if he's in or if he's down. But this is them yet again highlighting, which I'm guessing is going to be a new gameplay feature. Maybe it's a button push. Maybe it's only certain animations that trigger it. But I'm guessing you're going to be able to reach for the pylon, reach for the end zone, and maybe reach for first downs as well. Maybe a new feature, because they've definitely highlighted a lot. But here we are, Eli Holstein against West Virginia. Let's see, is that knee down? Oh, I can't tell. It looks like he's up. Yep, he got in. See, that's it, man. That's a negative. That's a con. Con of the trailer right there is Pitt scoring on West Virginia in the backyard brawl, man. Should have had it the other way around. You got bonus points from me. Instead, I gotta dock you a few. But I do like the reaching the ball out animation. We get a nice pass breakup animation here. Caleb Downs breaking it up in the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. And then here's where they're highlighting a little bit of the stadium pulse, which, yes, was in previously, but sounds like it's been amped up for this year's game. And we'll talk more about that when we get to the blog. But here you can see it a little bit in action. Look at the screen shaking. See the guys pumping them up. So I'm guessing it's going to be a harder screen shake, maybe even harder to audible in hot route. And I think they said the clock distorts as well. And it leads to them blowing up the play on this one, getting an interception. Get Akron's turnover celebration there. Akron, I guess, is the proper pronunciation, as people have pointed out to me in the comments. Can't tell who this coach is quite yet. Is that, I don't know, is that Lane Kiffin? Can't quite tell, but it's definitely Marcus Freeman there. And, pretty good likeness of Marcus Freeman. Is it dead on? No, but, pretty good. And what I like, also about the coaches being in is not only is that going to make coaching carousel more fun in Dynasty, but if you pay attention to what the coaches are wearing, right? They're putting the real coaches in. They got to put in kind of their real attire. So we see the sweater vest on Marcus Freeman. I believe that's a visor on this coach here. We saw Ryan Day wearing a hat. So got to mean that we're going to have those options for our custom coaches as well, right? Finally be able to put a hat on them, maybe, more than 2 shirt options. So maybe some different options for custom coaches, I'm hoping, as well, is added now too. And then here, I believe this is a new route animation and a new catch animation. I don't remember seeing either one here on College Football 26. We see it here from Jeremiah Smith and I think Ryan Williams as well. And that right there, I don't remember seeing that catch animation either. They're the 2 cover athletes, of course, getting in there at the end and the final shots of people with the trophy. And then we get our promo of pre-ordering the MVP bundle, which hopefully you already have. If not, get on it if you want the MVP bundle. This year, I did not go with the MVP bundle. Last year, I did that and ended up not playing Madden at all. So this year, I'm like, not doing it, not pulling the trigger on it, just getting the deluxe. But a couple weeks ago, did order the deluxe of CFB 26 already. So super excited. Wanted to break down the trailer now. Now we got to dive into my favorite part of these breakdowns, always the blog posts. And this one, not as lengthy as they will be when they start hitting the deep dives. And we know how long some of those were last year, and they were really fun to read through. But I'm excited to read through this one and talk about some of these features, give you guys my thoughts here. Let me take a swig of my water real quick. Just people hopped in the comments here. I'll catch up with some of y'all's comments. Then we will hit the blog up. Yeah, the drone shots do look sick, Trey, that they have the drone shows in. Yeah, man, Trey, you felt the same way I did. He said he thinks he was short, but Pitt thinks it was a tutty on us. It looked like a tutty to me there when I was going through it frame by frame. Which, man, EA Sports, how are they going to do us like that, Trey? How are they going to do us like that as Mountaineer fans? That's all good, though. I do like the reaching out the ball feature. It won't go down like that when I play the Backyard Brawl in my Dynasty. And this year, I am going to do a WVU Dynasty series. I know, promised that last year, only ended up doing one season of it. This year, it's going to happen. Let's see here. Hey, Patty C, good to see you back, man. Always appreciate you. Said they showed love to my Rice Owls in the trailer. I got to be hyped about that one, Patty. And I like that. I like that turnover celebration that Rice has there with the pimp cane walking around and shit. I like it. Patty C said EA said they added Rice's modern spread / triple option playbook. Didn't expect them because they just switched to an option team. Hey, at least they're going all in with, the updating the playbooks. I saw they added that one, and I think it's the Penn State gadget offense as well. But yeah, over 2,700 new plays. I can't say that enough, man. I'm super hype about that. They sold me on that already. I mean, I was already sold because I already ordered my copy. But even when I saw that, I was like, okay, I don't need nothing else. I'm happy. But hopefully there are more things that I want. I'm being facetious a little bit, but I am excited. With that being said, appreciate you guys that are in here live. If you are, got any questions, comments, throw them in there in the chat. I'll catch up with you guys again after we dive through the blog post here. I want to hit that up. I do appreciate you guys tuning into this live. We're on a playback, and whether you're watching live or after the fact, you can hit the thumbs up button. That helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. Share your thoughts in the comments if you didn't get a chance to chat live, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll be covering all the college football 26 news in the lead up to its release, and then we'll have a bunch of gameplay content for you here as well. Gameplay tips, Dynasty series, the whole nine. All right, so let's get into it. College Football 26, the welcome blog here. They say we're just excited thinking about what's to come later this summer. In EA Sports College Football 26, the playbook will be in your hands. Take your career from being an aspiring high school recruit to winning the Heisman Award, or coach your team to the College Football Playoff National Championship with new plays, schools, players, and upgraded abilities. There are more ways than ever to bring glory home. So upgraded abilities, nice little touch there. The new plays, of course, is what I'm super excited about, as I've mentioned. So the first, they're going to tell us a little bit about true college football gameplay. And there we see yet again the screenshot that I was talking about that came out the day before the trailer of Jeremiah Love reaching for the end zone. Seems like that's going to be one of the new gameplay features. But let's hear what they have to say about it here prior to the gameplay deep dive. Just kind of an overview here. They said their vision for what it means to experience college football continues to be wide open, fast-paced gameplay that's anchored by a swath of foundational features like stunts, twists, custom zones, improved blocking, and coverage logic. I know those last ones are going to get people happy. I know a lot of people were upset with the blocking in this previous one, but custom zones is nice because that's a good counter to custom stems that they added on the last game. And people have been wanting stunts and twists back in football games for I don't know how long. So that's pretty nice. Utilize dynamic substitutions for easier fatigue management on the field, with additional upgrades coming to the wear and tear system. Sweet. So I like that. I liked the wear and tear system. Did it function perfectly? No, but it's good to notice that they are picking up on that as well, and they're adjusting the way the wear and tear system works. And sounds like the dynamic substitutions may be involved with that. Maybe you can set it to, when do you want it to sub your guy out based on his wear and tear? Because sometimes your guy would start getting wear and tear, and your running back would be out for 2 series or something, and it wouldn't be like a high risk wear and tear yet either. So maybe they're going to allow you to set that yourself a little bit in this one. That'll be interesting. They've also overhauled archetypes to encompass the unique skill set you see every Saturday. Over 2,800 new plays. I said 2,700, but hey, either way, it's over 2,700 if it's over 2,800, right? But that's even better, right? Over 2,800 new plays man, I'm be spending a lot of time in my custom playbook. And unique schemes like Rice's modern option and Penn State's gadget heavy, as we just referenced, thousands of players and over 300 real world coaches with true to life schemes. This is our most authentic college football experience yet. Stay tuned for our gameplay deep dive to learn more. And also, people, as people have probably pointed out, 300 coaches. We know there's 136 FBS teams, I think. So that means some teams are getting coordinators in as well. Will all teams? I don't know, because I have seen some, people tweeting out, the coaches tweeting out their, or the football pages of teams tweeting out the college football 26 graphics of their coaches being in. And some have just been putting their head coach. Some have had their head coach and their coordinators listed on that graphic. West Virginia only had Rich Rod listed on their graphics. So maybe only Rich Rod's in and we don't have any of our coordinators in this year. I don't know. Have to wait and see. But it'll be interesting to see how that goes. There's definitely going to be a decent amount of coordinators if there's over 300 real world coaches. As we see here highlighted yet again, we see the picture of Ryan Day. And then they say wear and tear everywhere. Advanced wear and tear system delivers more realism and is now fully customizable to fit your play style. So yes, you will be able to customize wear and tear and have it kind of function the way that you want to in your own system, which is a nice touch and a nice addition to that. Manage fatigue strategically and save your favorite playmakers for key moments with dynamic substitutions that allow you to rotate players in and out on the fly. No pause screen needed. Have to see how that functions. That sounds interesting, but how time consuming is it? Are you going to be able to do it and, still pick a play, make adjustments and all that, and not have to worry about delay a game? Foundational football advancements. College football 26 foundational football gameplay starts with improved coverage to give you confidence in shutting down your opponent and improved blocking to reward players' left stick skills between the tackles. Okay, I love the sound of this last one. You guys that have watched my gameplay stuff on 25 know I'm more of a primary run guy. And I thought one of the best things about 25 was the way that you really didn't have to make a lot of juke moves. I just use the left stick, use sharp cuts, hit holes and cut around people and stuff like that. Improved blocking to reward players' left stick skills between the tackles. Sounds like it's going to be a system that's going to kind of have maybe, when you actually run a zone, maybe you're going to have multiple lanes to actually choose from. And you kind of have to have that left stick skill to be able to say, oh, somebody's in the front lane. I got a cut back lane here. I like the sound of that. That's going to be a lot of fun to play with here in the run game, which is my primary source of offense. Feel the changes to our upgraded physics-based tackling system with new tackle types and enhancements to the hit stick. Never against upgrades to the hit stick, but that's the one thing that I am seeing here that gives me a little bit of worry, just a little bit slightly, because, I didn't play Madden a lot, but the people that I know that did play Madden didn't really like the boom tech that Madden had, which was kind of one of their main selling points last year, but they didn't think that it really functioned that great. Kind of was like, it was a good idea, but didn't work out that well, when it came to fruition. But I think maybe this is a little bit different. We'll see. I hope it's not the same as Boom Tech because I haven't heard the best things about it. But also it could be, a revamped version of that Boom Tech that they've now had a chance to adjust and tweak. And they're just debuting it on College Football 25 before they bring it to Madden. College Football 26. That's probably going to happen a lot. Experience greater control on both sides of the ball with the ability to call different stunts and twists to optimize your pass rush, new custom zones features to really dial in your coverage of the line of scrimmage, and several new abilities that we can't talk about until the gameplay deep dive. So I'll be excited to hear about those new abilities, how those custom zones work. Home field advantage 2.0. Experience enhanced stadium pulse effects, including a more intense camera shake, new heads-up display visuals, and clock distortion that simulates the high pressure of playing as a visitor in hostile territory. Rivalry games, the college football playoff, and other high-stakes matchups are now even more affected by stadium pulse. When you're on the road, use your confidence and composure to help counteract the rattling environment. So, yeah, interesting. So, not only more intense camera shakes, new display visuals, but the clock distortion, I think that'll be interesting. That'll be a new touch that I don't think they've done with the home field advantage in the past before. More like Saturday, get a shot at the Iowa mascot with Iowa Edge. It's supposed to be hard edge, don't you know? That's how we do it at WVU with Rich Rod. We want you to immerse yourself in unforgettable game day atmospheres with more electrifying sights, sounds, and traditions than ever before. Feel the energy of new situations and stadium-specific music, fight songs, and dynamic commentary. Experience a new presentation that reflects the importance of each game in the context of your season. I like the sound of that. A new presentation that reflects the importance of each game. So different entrances for different levels of game. If it's a big game, I don't know. I just wonder. There definitely seems like they're trying to make the presentation so it's probably not the same game in and game out, which I think is a really good touch because as great and in depth as last year's entrances and stuff looked, once you've seen every team's entrance, how many times are you going to continue to watch that? So if they're switching it up a little bit, that would be a good touch. Saddle up in Stillwater, hoist the golden egg, and raise the sword as the king of turnovers at Coastal Carolina. We want to surround you with authentic, unrivaled school spirit so you always feel right at home. Next level game day. Feel the stadium shake as you discover more of your school's unique pageantry, traditions, and sounds with new PA tracks, including Metallica's Inner Sandman, 160 new school-specific chants, new mascots, and band music. So added 160 more chants for schools, which is awesome. New mascots and band music. So I mean, if they added even just one per school, that's 136. So they went beyond that. And of course, not every mascot was in last year. They're probably getting closer to having that fully done, and new band music, which leads right into this point, which I know people will probably be happy about. As they say, we know how much people love drum lines from the menu last year. We're going to change it up for college football 26, which I usually turn my menu music off anyway. So, no big deal for me. But I know it was super repetitive because it's just the same track over and over. But they're bringing new marching band covers of popular songs to the menus for players to enjoy, as well as fight songs from schools around the country. Learn more about this in our presentation deep dive campus huddle article coming later this summer, which I like that they're bringing back the fight songs, which that used to be back, I think, PS2 days, right? They would play different fight songs for different universities. That was always cool. I'm for that. I think that's a good idea there. And then we get that nice screenshot that I was talking about here that you saw in the thumbnail of this video. And there you can see it without the text here that's on it from our thumbnail. Beautiful screenshot of Neyland Stadium at night. Look how cool the lighting is for their T formation, where it's like lit up more inside the T, outside darker, with the lights off around the stadium. You have these kind of dynamic lights and fireworks going off. Just took presentation to a whole new level, which I didn't even know, wasn't even something I was expecting because, I thought presentation was good last year, but, adding the dynamic lighting and stuff, man, it's just like the cherry on top. Broadcast and commentary, which we've shared a few updates on this recently in a video on the channel, which just check out the College Football 26 updates playlist if you want to see what news we've had thus far, and we'll continue to keep you up to date moving forward. But Chris Fowler yet again provided some awesome video updates, and we shared those. And they talk a little bit about it here. Experience new and dynamic commentary tailored by Kirk Herbstreit, Chris Fowler, Jesse Palmer, David Pollock, Reese Davis, and Desmond Howard as you make history on the field, battling back after a tough loss, back-to-back 400-yard passing performances. Their expertise and insight adapt to your team's progress in a dynasty and your players' rise and road to glory. Okay, we'll see if that ends up being true, but it sounds like they're not only changed the commentary to make it more fresh, but changed it so it sounds like dynasty-specific commentary and road to glory-specific commentary where they've accounted for different scenarios maybe, which would be awesome if so. Show off your championship. We heard your feedback, and thanks to you, Trophy Room is back. Let's go. That might be right up there with the new plays as some of the biggest news for me right there. I didn't even realize that. Now is your chance to show off to your friends and rivals how successfully you really are. There'll be multiple ways for you to earn different kinds of trophies. Coach and manage your program in Dynasty, which is awesome. So you'll have your trophy room to be able to keep up with past success. I'm sure that'll be in Dynasty and online Dynasty. Maybe they'll even have something to be able to keep up with past Heisman winners and such as well. Focus on your journey as a college football legend and road to glory. Dominate online in the road to college football playoffs. So they even have a trophy room for road to college football playoff, which is cool. And compete in classic rivalry games in play now. Game modes. See what they have here for us. Dynasty, which this is my main thing right here. This is the main gameplay that I play. So, I know cross plays in, as you guys saw in the thumbnail. That's the biggest news. I can play with my Xbox friends now in Dynasty mode, which is sweet. A lot of my friends are, I'd say, probably 50-50 between PlayStation and Xbox. So now we'll be able to run a big Dynasty between the friend group, which is really sweet. Dynasty. How you create your dynasty will now be more important than ever if you want to cement your legacy as one of the best coaches. Assemble an elite staff, upgrade your coaching abilities, and then lay it all out on the field. Navigate the now expanded and more unpredictable transfer portal featuring thousands of players each year. Yes. Hype for that shit too, because if you guys saw my wish list video, that's one thing I was talking about was they definitely needed to adjust the portal. Now they see how crazy that it is. Add more people in there, a lot more active, and later seasons in online dynasty and in dynasty mode still needs improvement there because the first couple years it would be good, but then there would be, next to no one in there, and it'd be doo-doo cheeks. The latter years. Personnel management has never been more important, with new location based visits having the potential to give your program an advantage in recruiting. Land critical talent for your team by managing new dynamic deal breakers and traits while trying to retain your favorite playmakers and cement your program's legacy. So, not many major changes to recruiting, it sounds like. Sounds like it's going to be the same system, but a few nice touches. Location based visits. Huh. I'm interested to see what that exactly means and how that exactly functions, as far as its function in the game. Obviously, I know what location based visit would mean in real life, but how do you implement that into the game? But give your program an advantage. Potentially, maybe it's just if you're closer, the visits are more impactful. Maybe that's all that means. I don't know, but it sounds intriguing either way. Land critical talent for your team by managing new dynamic deal breakers and traits. Dynamic deal breakers and traits, an interesting new addition as well. So I'll be interested to see what those entail with the recruiting aspect, because I liked recruiting in 25, but definitely could use some improvements, and sounds like they're trying to make some of those. So that's good. And then, as we said, cross play. Super excited about this. Online Dynasty will now support cross-play across Xbox Series X, S, and PlayStation 5. Now be able to run a 32-person online Dynasty with friends regardless of platform. Within the Members tab, you'll be able to see each user's system. To use crossplay, blah, 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 we know that. Crossplay is enabled by default, but it can be turned off at any time by the commissioner in league settings. So if you want to play with only PS5 people, on the Xbox people, you could do that as well. But crossplay is here, guys. Let's go. And then one last note before we see you with the Dynasty Deep Dive. Let's go. Oh, hell yeah. I didn't even know the Dynasty Deep Dive is going to be the first deep dive, guys. Let's go. That just took my excitement to another new level. We're happy to announce that formation subs and a protected opponent setting are coming, which is awesome. Two great things. Sounds like scheduling will work better with that protected opponent setting. Hopefully, we won't have the scheduling snafus we had when earlier online dynasties last year. But formation subs, as you guys know, one of my top wish list items. But huge caveat here, man. I need to be able to set a custom playbook as my scheme in Dynasty and online Dynasty, or I'm not going to be able to properly utilize formation subs. So hopefully, I responded to Scott O'Gallagher. I don't think he saw it or didn't respond, and told him, please tell me that that's in, but he didn't respond. So I don't know if that means it's not in or if he just didn't see the message. Let's hope it's the latter. If not, formation subs aren't going to be as beneficial to me, someone who uses a custom playbook, but still will be beneficial nonetheless, because not having them really sucked. At least we have them this year and can make the necessary adjustments, have guys where you want them. Road to Glory. Oh, I guess the Dynasty Deep Dive might not be first. Maybe that's just because I'm talking about the Dynasty section. Damn, they got me hyped for that too. They got me hyped for the Dynasty being the first deep dive too. It might not be. I wonder if they'll be in the order that they are on here. If that's the case, then I guess the first one would be gameplay. But we'll have to see. If so, then I'll have to wait a while for Dynasty, because it's down here near the bottom. But nonetheless, you guys saw how hype I was when I thought it was the first one, so you know how I feel about Dynasty. Road to Glory, and we get our shots of the hats there from signing day. It's time for you to begin your ultimate student athlete journey as part of the recruiting class of 2025. Choose from 10 new archetypes and rise from high school recruit to Heisman glory, with every decision shaping how your career will look. Build your highlight tape to earn an offer from your dream school and make that decision in the famous hat ceremony. Rise in class rankings and secure scholarships before other recruits, along with a new tier of abilities available to reach for your athlete. Earn coach trust, build team chemistry, and navigate the competitive recruiting process. Commit early if you found the perfect fit for you, or decommit if a better opportunity comes your way. I love that you can commit somewhere, but then, if somewhere else offers you, you can decide to go there. That's cool. So, you can commit early in your high school season or high school playoff run, whatever they end up putting on the game. But if you want to change your mind towards the end, you can do that. Probably can do it multiple times, I'd say. Your journey to become a superstar in Madden 26 is yours to define, because as soon as you're ready, your Road to Glory student athlete can begin in Madden superstar mode. And then a little bit about Ultimate Team here. Just build your dream roster with legends from the past and current college stars. I don't really play Ultimate Team. I'm not going to hit that too much. Road to the college football playoff. Be the team to beat in the college football playoff and make the most of your home field advantage. Climb the ranks, take down opponents online, and dominate in a new progression system. Fill your personal trophy room with gold and capture the national championship to bring glory to your school. So sounds like it will be pretty much the same, and we'll have to wait and see. But the new addition sounds like a new progression system. We'll see what that is. And the trophy room, of course, being added. Team builder. Don't worry, College Football 25 fans. You'll be able to import your custom teams from last year seamlessly, ensuring your favorite creator teams can be brought over. So if you went ahead and used Team Builder last year, had a team you liked, you can use them again on 26. I didn't use Team Builder last year. Heard there was a lot of bugs. Never really dove into it after I heard that and such. So hopefully they've got those worked out, and maybe this year I'll give it a shot. We'll see. But with new features in Team Builder, you can refine your team's details and explore enhanced roster editing options, allowing for greater control over your identity and legacy. I like the enhanced roster editing options. That intrigues me. Stay tuned for the Dynasty Deep Dive to learn more about these features and how they'll elevate your gaming experience. Team Builder content can be used in offline play now in private Dynasty mode. Oh, I guess Team Builder, was I saying Team Builder can't be used in online dynasties? Was that not couldn't they be used in this year's online dynasties? I thought maybe not. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't use Team Builder this year. So they said they can't wait to tell you more about your journey in EA Sports College Football 26. Stay tuned for future Campus Huddle deep dives about gameplay, your favorite modes, and features later this summer. So yeah, I'm going to guess just because they listed it first, it was first in this blog, that gameplay deep dive may be first, which would make sense. You know, you kind of got to talk about that before you talk about other things, I guess. So that does make sense. Damn it, I got excited that Dynasty was going to be first, though. But that's okay. We'll get to it. We'll talk about each one of them. We'll have a lot to talk about. But there it is, guys. There it is. Our first semi-deep dive action here as we broke down the trailer and now broke down the blog post. So that's what we got here. Exciting stuff. Formation subs, cross-play, over 2,800 new plays, real coaches, on down the line, man. So much cool shit. Just in the reveal trailer and in the welcome blog. So can't wait to hear what we're getting in the deep dives, man. Super excited about this, guys, and appreciate you guys that tuned in here live. Let me catch up on some of your all's comments here. Looks like we got a couple more. Yeah, that's right. That's good. That's a good point, Trey. He said the shot of the Pitt West Virginia game was taking place at Pitt, and they play in Morgantown this year. So, you know, they're just wishful thinking. That's right. That's right, Trey. Isaac Benton, good to see you back this year, man. Says, I'm looking forward to seeing the new score bug. Me too. We got a brief glimpse of it, which check that out in a video I did on the channel if you haven't yet already, Isaac. That first trailer, we got a little brief glimpse of it, it looked like, when they did the first trailer for the MVP bundle. But we'll find out if that is the legit one for College Football 26 soon, I'm sure. And I'm excited to see that as well. Let's see. Trey Edwards says, wonder if they will add NIL incentives in Dynasty and not just Road to Glory. Yeah, that's one thing I'm looking forward to with the Dynasty deep dive is, you know, they've had more time now. Have they decided a way to put NIL into Dynasty mode? I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out and see if they have or not. But I do love that they have upgraded the transfer portal. That's big. At least they've done that. We'll see if they've done anything with NIL in Dynasty mode, if they just keep it strictly in Road to Glory. I agree, Patty C. Sounds like they did listen to the fans a decent little bit. I just hope that they're listening about allowing us to have a custom playbook as our scheme in Dynasty mode. That's the only thing that's going to be a big bugaboo for me if it's not on this one. But hey, I'll live if not. But it's fine. At least I got my custom playbooks. At least we got formation subs. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And I like a lot of the things that it looks like they're adding this year as well. So I do think they listened a good bit, Patty. I'd agree there. Shane says the new defensive adjustments will be interesting. I agree. I want to see how those custom zones work. You know, the coverage upgrades will be great. That would help a lot. Zone coverage, not the best functionality wise. Got beat way too much on College Football 25 trying to play zone coverage. So, you know, adding custom zones and upgrading the coverage should help with that. I'll be interested to see how those new adjustments work as well. But that's pretty much what I had, guys. Kind of shared most of my thoughts as I went through there so that I could just hit on some of your all's questions and comments. Like I said, if you didn't get a chance to tune in here live, throw your thoughts in the comment section. I'll respond there in text form when I can. But this will just be the first of many upcoming live streams here from now leading up to July 7th with that early release, and of course July 10th for the standard release. But we'll have a ton of deep dives to cover. Sounds like gameplay maybe next. Whichever one's next, though, be back to talk about it with you guys, hopefully in about a week's time. But we'll see what happens. No longer than 2, I'm sure. But I would expect us to get more news again next week. And if any other news comes out in the meantime and in between time, I'll try and put out pre-recorded videos. But expect more live streams where we hit these deep dives and share our thoughts on what we feel about each one of the deep dives in the lead up to College Football 26 as we continue to learn all the news about this game. Check out my other news updates for College Football 26. Check out my College Football 25 gameplay content. In the meantime, before we get to College Football 26 and I can drop some gameplay content for it, subscribe here if you're a fan of the college football video game. Be covering the news and putting out content, as I just stated there, and hit the thumbs up button before you exit the video, whether you're watching live or on the playback. That helps us a ton. That being said, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning into this one, and I will catch you on the next.